In the previous video, I showed you how to graph power functions. Today I'm going to be showing you how to graph exponential functions. So, what is an exponential function? It's simply just here's the thing, n over to the power of x. N is just a constant. It could be any number. It could be 4, it could be 5, it could be 345. It doesn't matter. Okay, n could be any number, and to the power of x. X is a variable. It changes depending on like what you want it to be, I guess. Anyways, so how about we try to graph y is equal to 2 to the power of x, okay? Now, if you've seen the last video, you would know that the other one is kind of like y is equal to x to the power of 2, right? But this is different because now the variable is the actual, like, the power of, I guess. So, how do we graph this? Well, first of all, we should start by making a table of ordered pairs, right? So let's just make a table. Here we have our x, and here we have our y. So I'm just gonna do 5 ordered pairs right here, so you can see the whole thing. So 1 and then 2. There we go. All right, let's start with 2. What is 2 to the power of 2? 2 to the power of 2 means 2 times 2, which is equal to 4, right? So this is gonna equal to 4. 2 to the power of 1 is just 2 because it is. And then remember, if you know the exponent rules, you would know that anything to the power of 0 is going to equal to 1. So our y-intercept, which is 0, 1, is going to be 1. All right. What about 2 to the negative power of 1? Well, what we can, as you know, 2 to the negative power of 1 is equal to 1 over 2 to the power of 1, right? So this will be just 1/2. And then here, so when it's 2 to the power of negative 2, we end up having 1 to the power of 2 to the power, 1 over 2 to the power of 2, which is equals 1/4. There we go, 1/4. So let's start off by graphing. Here I have the graph pre-prepared so we don't waste any time. And let's start off by plotting our points, and I will use red. So when it's negative 2, it's 1/4, so it's somewhere right here. And then when it's negative 1, it's 1/2, so 0.5 here. And then when it's 0, it's 1. So our y-intercept is 1. And then when it's 1, it's 2. And when it's 2, it's 4. So when it's 2, it's 4. Now, let me just fill this line in. This, and then you can see. So we kind of have like a curve right here. And then, if we continue, it would be look like this, right? So, as you can see, it looks like it's going to approach x, but it actually never approaches x. This is what we call an asymptote, right? An asymptote is just when a line gets super close to an axis but never intersects it. So this asymptote is just equal to, so asymptote, I think that's how you know. Hold up. It's spelled, okay, asym. There we go. It's just y is equal to 0 because it never intersects x, right? So this is our asymptote right here. Or let me just point this more towards this part, or this, right? And then as you can see, we kind of start off gradual, right? We kind of start off gradual, and then we just go up very high. So this kind of it starts going up very high after the y-intercept here. This doesn't apply to every single line, but as you can see, the slope is just kind of slopes up over time. All right. But what if we were told to graph y's okay, so let me just here. Or let me just write this in a different color, I guess. Y is equal to 1/2 to the power of 2. How would we be able to graph this, right? So let's start off again by making a table of ordered pairs. So you have x, and here we have y. All right, so negative 2, or let me just actually write this. Negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. There we go. All right, so let's just start with 2. 2 to 1/2 to the power of 2 is going to equal 1/2 times 1/2. So we just multiply these and we get 1/4. So this is going to equal 1/4 right here. Okay. And then negative, 1/2 to the power of 1 is just going to be 1/2. And then 1/2 to the power of 0 is going to be 1. Anything to the power of 0 is going to be 1, right? So here we have 1. And then what do we do when we have to the power of negative 1? So 1/2 to the power of negative 1 right here. Well, this just equals to, because we can just flip this thing. So what it actually is just 2 over 1, which is 2. So 2. And then 1/2 to the power of negative 2. Remember, we flip it again. We flip 1/4, and we get 4. All right, so let's graph this one. I'm going to use green. All right, so when we have 1, it's just going to equal, okay, so let's do 2. So this is going to be like this. We have 1, it's 1/2, so like right here. And then our y-intercept is 1. As you can see, we share the same y-intercept because anything to the power of 0 is just going to equal 1. And then negative 1, it becomes 2. And let me just erase this asymptote thing right here so we can continue graphing. All right, there we go. Nice. And 2, and then here becomes 4. So, like this. And boom. All right, as you can see, this is kind of mirrored. This is like, it's like goes like this way and this goes like this way. Because when we have a fraction, right here, or a decimal, it's just is going to end up being mirrored, right? As you can see, it still kind of slopes the same way, and we do still share the same y-intercept. Now, I want to show you the second equation. So let me just move everything below. There we go. Nice. All right. Let's do y is equal to 3 times 2 to the power of x. How will we be able to solve this? Or graph it rather. Okay, so first of all, let's start off by making a table. And I want you to observe this equation right here when we're making our table. All right, so let me just do this, x and y, negative 2, and then here, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. There we go. All right. So 2 to the power of negative, 2 to the power of negative 2 is just 1/2. 3 times 1/2 is 1.5, so 3 over 2. And then negative 1, so that's, actually, no, this is 3 over 4, rather. And then here, 3 times 1/2 is going to equal 1, or 3 over 2, so 1.5, right? And then 0. Okay, so we want to look close at the 0 right here, okay? What do you think the y-intercept is going to be, all right? Because before I said the y-intercept is going to always be 1, but that was when we didn't have this 3 times, right? But when you think about it logically, 3 times 1 is just going to equal to 3, right? So this ends up being our y-intercept. Okay, so this becomes, this is just 3, right? Because remember, 3 times 1 is just going to equal to 3. So take it as a general rule. If you have an equation like this, a times b to the power of x, a and b being constants, of course, a is always going to be the y-intercept, right? Because when you multiply by 0, when you go to the power of 0, you end up having 1. Anything times 1 is just the number, so this becomes the y-intercept. All right, just a little thing to tell you. All right. Anyways, let's move on. And here we have 6, because after we do this, and 12. All right. When we graph this, I'm not gonna make an accurate graph, but when we graph this, okay, let's just imagine 1, 2, and 3. We'll just end up having like this, or right? So we'll have the y-intercept of 3 because we have a 3 over here. So this is all for today, and let me just, I guess, fix this graph. So yeah, something like this, right? And I have one more note. If you have a larger value, so let's say y is equal to 30 to the power of x, you'll end up having a larger slope as you can see, you'll end up having a larger slope right here, right? This is visual representation. But when you have a larger value, you'll end up having a larger slope. So let's say if it was y equal to the 2 to the power of x, you end up having like this, a gentle curve. But with this one, you end up just going boom, like instantly, right? So yeah, this is all. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.